it's Anja here, and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today we are looking at my 12-point star blanket. I really enjoyed crocheting this blanket and it was so much fun. It was a quick project because I used Scheepjes Chunky Monkey. I bought it in a pack and it was meant for a baby blanket, but actually I changed my mind and I thought, well, let's try a new pattern for me at least, and let's make a 12-point star blanket. Now this blanket is so big and I made this so quickly because of the chunky yarn. It's about 1.60 meters diameter and I used 12 balls of Scheepjes Chunky Monkey. So I hope you enjoyed the previous video where I showed you the blanket, and this is the video for the tutorial. So let's get started. So today I am going to start another 12-point star blanket, and I am going to use this cotton. So this is a Specials Color Splash cake. I bought it when I was in Belgium from the Action shop, and it's 100% cotton, and it's for a 4 to a 4.5 hook. So I have decided to use a 4. Okay, so let's get started. We are going to do a slip knot. So make your slip knot whichever way you can. Insert your hook. Now you are going to chain 4. So yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and the last one. Now you are going to go back to your first chain and you're going to go in there, and I try to pick up 2 loops. So you go into this area here and you have 2 legs of the stitch on the back of your hook and one at the front. You slightly pull this one, you yarn it around your hook, pull it through that stitch and pull it through the loop. You have now made a little circle. This is the circle that we are going to start working in to make our beginning of our star blanket. So first of all we are going to chain 2, and this counts as our first double crochet. Obviously it's our turning chain or even the chain that we need to make the height of our stitches. Yarn over, insert into the circle, try to take the end with you as well, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we've now done our first double crochet, so we need to do 11 of them. So making sure that we count this as a stitch, we will have 12 V's going around the outside of our work. So we continue by doing our 11 double crochets all into that circle, and if you can, taking along the end so that it's already sort of sewn in a little bit, which helps of course. So we keep doing our 11 double crochets, and we are going to be counting the V's on the outside of our work. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a turning chain, so one more. That means we now have 11. And now we go under the 11th chain, if you count back, and we do a slip stitch over that turning chain, and now we have 12 V's going around the outside of our work. Now it's very important at this point that you count this, okay? Now we are going to do an increase row. So we are going to do 2 double crochets in each stitch around. First of all, 2 chains, we are going to consider this chain as the last stitch of our round, so let's just disregard that for now. And in the very first stitch here, we are going to place 2 double crochets. So yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And again in the next stitch, 2 double crochets going around the outside of your work. You will now have 24 V's. Now, working with cotton feels, and it is slightly different to working with acrylic or to working with wool or any other type of yarn that you are using. There's no give almost. So you need to be prepared for that. If you come from one project straight into another project using 100% cotton, you will feel the difference. Right, so I am nearly there. So I've just got to do the last stitch. Here, of course, we need to do 2 double crochets. So I'm yarning over, putting the first double crochet in there. And now that chain here, which we have disregarded earlier, this is going to be our second double crochet. So we skip the 2 chains here. We are going to go under this V and we are going to do a slip stitch. There we go. Okay. So now we are ready for row 3. And really this is our first row where we're going to do the points. So chain 2, because that's what we need to do to get started. We are now going to skip 1 stitch. In the next stitch, 1 double crochet, 2 chains and 1 double crochet. Like before, we are just disregarding this. Okay, we'll sort that out later on. So next, skip a stitch, next stitch, double crochet, 2 chains and a double crochet in that same stitch. And this is how we are going to continue all along our circle. And of course, because we are now skipping a stitch, this is the crucial part where you have to count that you in fact have your 12 points, otherwise you will have not the right amount of points. So your points are going to be here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to continue. I will see you at the end of the row where we are going to be sorting this out here. Okay, so I am nearly finished doing this round, so skipping 1 here, I have now arrived at this V with the chain coming out of. So I'm going to yarn over, put my double crochet in there. I'm going to do 2 chains and then I'm going to find the chain, skip it and then go to the next V and do a slip stitch. Okay. Now, if you're confused as to what you should be counting, because this look here could be quite confusing, you need to count now to make sure that you've got 12 points. And your points are going to be honest, the chain 2s, because they will make, when you make your blanket a little bit more, they will make the points. So if you count your chain 2s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, then you know you've got your 12 points. Okay, now next, first of all, we are going to do a slip stitch into the next V. Okay, this means we are in the correct position to start crocheting. 1, 2 chains, because we need that for the height. And now we are going to do an increase round. So that means we are doing an extra double crochet where before we had just the 1. Okay, so 1 here, we've got 2 there. Okay, 2 chains, 2 double crochets in that same chain space, because we are going to do an increase round. Then you go to the next chain space and you are going to do 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets. Next chain space, 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets. Okay, and this is how you are going to continue throughout your round. I will see you at the end. Now I've made it to the end of my round and I am ready to do my slip stitch. So I'm just going to do a slip stitch, skipping that chain, and a slip stitch into that first V after the chain, and I close the round. Once again, I am going to slip stitch to the chain space, and of course there we go. Nobody can see you've done that. Okay, so now we are going to copy the round. Okay, so with this pattern you're going to have to do rounds of increase, but you also have to do rounds of where you do no increase and where you just copy the round. So generally you're doing 2 rounds of increase, 1 round of just copying of no increase. Okay, so here 2 rounds of increase. Now we're going to do a round that doesn't do the increase, so we are going to be copying this round here. There are a couple of things you need to keep in mind. Okay, so first of all we are doing the chain for the point, the 2 chains for the point, for the corner, and the 1 double crochet for the point. Okay, so each time, each row, we are doing this as our point, but sometimes you have to do increases and then you do them here as well. So then you do 2, 2 and 2. Okay, but so when we copy, we just do 1 double crochet, so to speak, 2 chains and 1 double crochet. Then we are going to put 1 double crochet on top of the first double crochet that you see. Or if we have a longer row, you do 1 on top of every double crochet apart from the 2 middle ones. Okay, we always skip the 2 double crochets that meet. So we leave them alone. We then go and start doing double crochets again on the other side. There we go. So you always leave those 2 untouched. So in the next row we will leave these 2 untouched because they're the middle ones. Okay, then we are going to do our point, which is 1 double crochet, 2 chains and 1 double crochet. And of course, because we're copying, we are not doing an increase here. Okay, 1 double crochet on top of that very first double crochet that you see there. Then here, these 2 we leave alone and we go straight to the next double crochet we need to do on the side there. Do the tip, which is double crochet, 2 chains and double crochet, 1 double crochet on the side, leave these 2 alone, 1 double crochet on the next side, and do your tip of the next one. And this is how you are going to continue your whole row, right? So as you can see, what I mean by copying is that we've got 2 double crochets here, you will have 2 double crochets here. They are in different positions, but that doesn't matter. That's the amount that you need. The next row we will be increasing, the row after that we will be increasing, and then once again we will be copying. Okay, so leaving these 2 alone, you do the side double crochet, the double crochets and the chains for the point, the side double crochet, a bit hard to get into with cotton here. Leave those two alone. Side double crochet, treble crochet for the point. I will see you at the end of the row. So I'm at the end of the row. I need to leave these two alone. Then here I've got that slip stitch that I did to get to my chain space here. So I'm going to go under that slip stitch because that lies in front of the actual V stitch there, the V here. So I'm picking that one up as well. So I'm picking up 4 things here just to make sure I'm picking up the right one that I need to be picking up. Then skipping 2, I am going to be doing a slip stitch. There we go, to close the round, and that will bring me to doing that point straight away there. Okay, so this is where we are at the moment. So if you were to do increases every row, your blanket will not lie flat after a while. So we need to do these copy rows every 3rd row to make sure that it stays flat. So now we are going to do an increase row. I am going to do my first double crochet that I'm doing here instead of, well, I'm going to do it as a chain, sorry, that's what I was trying to say. And now in here I am going to do my point but also my increase. So I am doing 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets for my point and for my increase. There we go. And then you do your 1 double crochet on top of the double crochets. You leave these 2 alone and you go and you do your next double crochet. Then you do your increase point. That means 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets. Then you do your double crochet on the side, leaving these 2 alone, going on to the next double crochet on the side, there you go, and you do your increase point. And this is how you're going to continue for this round. And then the next round you're going to do more increases. So you will have, the next round you will have more double crochets to work on in the side. So you'll be leaving these alone here, these 2, but you'll be working on top of these 2, creating another double point, so with your 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets. And that means that that's how your blanket is going to grow and still lie flat. After that second row of increases, that's when you're going to do a copy row again. So although this blanket, I thought it was a lot of fun to make, you do have to keep your wits about you, and you do have to know which row it is that you are doing. Are you doing an increase row or are you doing a copy row? And that's what I've been calling them. So a copy row is where you're doing the exact same amount of double crochets as in the row before, right? So here you will see these are 4, this is 4. That's a copy row. This is an increase row because I've gone from 2 to 3. Can you see that? Okay, so this is how you are going to continue. So like I said, 2 increase rows, then a copy row. I will keep you posted on my progress and hopefully you can work it out from here. So I have now changed colour. As you can see, it changed color, and also I have just started a new row, but I just wanted to explain to you again about this doing 2 increase rows and then doing 1 copy row. So for instance, here we have 2 double crochets, here we have 3, so that's an increase, here we have 4, so increase, increase, then we have another row of 4. So we have a copy row. The difference between the two rows is that in the increase row, you do your point consisting of 2 double crochets, 2 chains and 2 double crochets. In a copy row, you do 1 double crochet, 2 chains, 1 double crochet. Okay, each time you are doing your double crochets on top of the double crochets from the previous row, but you leave the 2 ones here which are talking to each other, which are having a little chat. You leave those alone, and remembering to leave them alone and to do a copy row every 3rd row helps enormously. So 4, 4, so this is our copy row. Now I need to do here 2 increase rows. So yeah, indeed they are increase rows because I can see there's 2 here and 2 here. Now I'm going to count, so there's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, increase. After this row, we need to do a copy row because these are 2 increase rows. So a copy row means we're doing the same amount of double crochets as the previous row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Voila, there we are. Okay, and that way you keep going. Now the reason why we do those copy rows is because at the moment here I can feel it is slightly starting to be a little bit wavy. Okay, but if you then do a copy row, that sorts out that waviness. So every 3rd row you just need to sort out the waviness and make sure that your work stays flat. So I will keep you posted on my progress, but for now I am just going to keep crocheting and I'll show you the different colors that appear from my cake, which has now sort of more normalized now that I was able to get rid of the purple on the outside because I'd wound it round and it's sort of gone back to its cake shape. But of course, yes, I am still using it from the outside, which makes it more difficult to sort of unroll it, but that's fine. I'll put up with that for now. Okay, see you later. I have now made it to my last color. I've done a couple of rows with it, but unfortunately this is what I have left. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to keep going until it's finished, and that's it. I'm just not going to do a border because I think that's the prettiest on this one here. Yeah, so just going to finish it in double crochets. That's fine for me. Now I just wanted to say here, with my other blanket that I made in the Scheepjes Chunky Monkey, towards the end, look, so I was doing 3 rows of each color, and towards the end, of course, each time the color you used a lot more because your circles, your rounds are getting much bigger. So I was using, you know, sort of nearly a whole ball for these 2 rows. Then I decided to start doing, you know, so here I did 2 rows, here I did 1 row each only. I really wanted to use up every bit of yarn. Okay, I wanted to make sure that I had nothing left over. So then I decided to do a linen stitch border, which is a nice effect, but it does bring your work in, okay, because you're doing a single crochet, a chain, single crochet, chain, single crochet, chain. So that's what I did. Here I did a single crochet, skip those 2, and then straight away a single crochet, so no chain. And then here I did single crochet, chain, chain, single crochet, so to make the corners. But I was being very stingy with my yarn because I needed to finish it. So that's why some of my corners are a little bit coming up, because, and I knew this in advance that this would happen, because of course, like I said, linen stitch takes it in a little bit, and I was being stingy. So if you are doing this, if you want to finish it in a linen stitch border, make sure you're really generous with the flow of your yarn so that, you know, you have plenty and it's not going to pull your points up. the only thing I had left over actually was a tiny bit of this pink, and all the rest was used up. So I was so pleased about that. Look here, this is what I had to do. Look, I ran out of white, and then I used a little bit of pink here. Nobody's going to see that. I've pointed it out to you now, and you will see it now. But you know, that's fine by me. You know, it's a blanket for myself, so I don't mind. But yeah, so I really wanted to use up the 12 balls, and I did. I only had like maybe 60 centimeters of this bubble gum left over, so I think I did really well. But yes, do make sure that if you do your points like I have done them here, do them generously with your yarn, because otherwise they will start curling up. So I am now going to finish this one here, and I hope you like this tutorial. I hope you like this blanket, and if you do make it, go to my Facebook group where you will be able to post your picture there, of course. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Please like and share this video, subscribe to be notified of every new video, and go to our Facebook group to become a member of our crochet community there. Here are some more videos you might find interesting. Thank you so very much for watching, and come back soon. Bye!